Witness me, smegma crazies, and welcome back to Mad Max.
I'm going. Wait here.
Certainly, yes. You know I would never leave her side.
We've seen you around, stranger. You the one they say sawed up Lord Scrotus. Bane of so many war boys. We best warn you then. See them pipes yonder? Go down that hatch and it'll be buzzing with hostiles inside. But there are other ways inside. Less dangerous. For those with the eye and the skin.
Today we're going to do our first big boy camp attack. These camps usually have better defenses and more ways into them, along with usually more resources than the ones we ran into earlier. Also, taking out camps is generally
At my soul, Saint. You be careful here.
the best way to take down the threat of any given area. Now you may notice those little towers with the red, what you call them? The red things around them? Those are actually thunderpoon throwers. Or Molotov launchers, maybe. I don't remember which one exactly. They throw explosives at you. For some reason I couldn't tag them in this go-round, but I'll take care of them before too long. Essentially what they'll do is as you're driving around the wasteland or around the camp in general, they will be, you know, launching explosives at you. And explosives, generally bad.
Stalk this region, Saint. Be on guard.
Something I don't know if I've mentioned about the harpoon, you can definitely use it to hook people. And also you can drive around with them tailing behind your car. It's kind of neat. The launchers aren't too difficult to take care of. You can either shoot the red barrels around their struts, or you can pull them down. There is another entrance right there, that little section off to the left. You could tell by the yellow painting on the side of the wall. Usually yellow is an indication that there's some way to go there, either by climbing up or climbing through, something like that. But if we can take out these flame pipe, these flame cans, we should have a pretty simple way into the camp, and then we can make a mess from there. All that's left is to take down the gate, which again, I could go through this side door, but you know, who does that? In this case, it's harpoon restricted, so we'll just have to knock. Very politely.
Convoy, up ahead!
And so we're in.
Forget not the grand mojo what sits on the hood, an ornament of great power for us.
Sometimes you just don't really have a chance to take out the war crier before he alerts everybody, and this is one of those chances. When you see this red outline around the war boys, that means they're powered up. They'll do more damage and attack faster. It's nothing generally too strenuous, but it can catch you off guard if you're not ready for it. And once all the war boys are done, the war crier is just kind of lost. The other side of this little gate here is where that side section would have brought us in.
All those things I pulled at you, just a spur of the moment thing. Nothing personal.
know if we've run into these insignia before. I think we did. Yeah. They're still everywhere. Here's another way to deal with war criers, by the way. If you break their hoists, then they're not really going to have a good time. Also, for some reason, they still explode. I think it's because of the attachments they have that allow them to spit out fire while they're drumming. I guess anything involving gasoline is just extremely volatile in this environment, which, fair. Gas cans explode, cars explode, people explode. You know, as you do. There's a bit of a graphical bug you may be noticing, and I don't know if it ever got fixed on any version of the game. If you look at Max's lower back, you may notice that it's getting, you know, redder and redder and bloodier. As long as I haven't reset the game, for some reason his back just gets completely torn up, and it just goes more and more glistening. So if you ever see a giant red splotch on Max's back, that just means, you know, I'm still getting my face kicked in here and there. Sometimes you can do stealth kills, but because I have a melee weapon equipped, not so much. There's a scrapulence that's continually driving around outside this camp, and I wish he stayed here long enough for me to go out and grab him, but unfortunately at some point he takes off. I thought that guy might turn back and come to fight me, so I could throw a, you know, lit gas can in his face, but no dice.
Come and get it! You dare come toward me? That's what you want?
You can kind of hear a couple tinks and tanks off the... sounds like something hitting metal, maybe? That's the sound of those guys down there throwing rocks at me. They can't reach me, so they settle for the next best thing. Also, it may come as a surprise, but getting a rock to the head kind of hurts. Anytime a enemy's on a lower or higher elevation where they can't reach you, that's usually how they'll respond. They'll throw rocks at your car too, but that doesn't really do anything generally.
Get ready! I'm smashing brain bags, do ya? Maybe I'll smash yours. You alone, Scarecrow.
There's an enemy here that doesn't get too much screen time right now. The black painted guy with looks like more armor on him. That one's a war dog. They're another step up the war boys, and these guys have armor, and they also they usually shrug off light attacks. So these guys you will have to specifically use heavy attacks on to break their guard first, then you can start beating them down. Just another wrinkle for your melee combat. That being said, Fury Strikes will still break through their guard. It's just if you are not in Fury mode, then you'll have to take them out otherwise.
He who runs, runs from the Lord! Go with him! You know what Scrotus does to gas? No! Look at you, I'm jacket!
And so that'll just about do it for all the violence in this area. You know, except for another explosion or two. I didn't quite find all the scrap and insignia in this camp, and, well, searching around for it is frankly boring as sin to watch. So I'll be coming back to this camp later off camera and completing it, though after blowing up these fuel pumps, we'll still get the additional allied scrap deliveries from the camp. And with this camp done, we've also decreased the level of threat in the area, which should give us some new upgrades. Along with, during that last fight, we also reached a new reputation level, or a legend level. Rather than being roadkill, now we're a day lizard. This is going to upgrade, or unlock some upgrades for Max in particular. Also, I came back up here to eat this food because this is yet another challenge. Eating from food enough times gets you more tokens, because I don't know, dog food, I guess? Anytime you complete a camp, they'll also usually have fuel at the entrance in case you're needing a gas up for whatever reason. In the event you get caught out in the middle of a storm as well, the camps can also serve as a temporary spot to wait out the storm. And storms are still pretty angry, so you know, avoid those when you can. That being said, there can be loot found inside of storms, and the loot can be actually pretty worthwhile. So it's very much a risk versus reward. A lot of the risk depending on can your car take being in the middle of a storm. This balloon is actually anchored, more so than other ones will be. Luckily with the harpoon you can take out those anchor points pretty easily. Without taking out those anchor points, we wouldn't actually be able to take the balloon up. These anchor points are also what you'll find anchoring down sniper towers, sometimes around the wasteland or in camp defenses. And the same concept, pulling down the anchor points will destabilize the tower and, you know, knock it over, and you can laugh at the sniper while he's going nowhere fast. And while we're here, I might as well take a look at some upgrades. Every time we reach a new legend upgrade, we should be able to see a few max upgrades, such as knuckle dusters, wrist armor so you can parry a little bit better, or a missed parry doesn't hurt quite as much. And, you know, different leather jackets, all sorts of upgrades that just make him a little bit more of a beast in the wasteland. Also, cosmetics in case you want to make him a little bit more scraggly, why not? The biggest thing you'll run into every level is new combat skills. Last time we found the melee upgrade and the chain finisher, now we're going to find the gut shot and the shoulder charge. Neither one of these is particularly impressive. The shoulder charge is mostly useful against an enemy we'll be seeing around the jaw, where we're heading to next. The gut shot is mostly for another challenge. And of course, reducing the threat in the area has given us some new car upgrades, but car upgrades are pretty expensive. Stuff like border spikes will keep enemies from jumping onto our car and trying to kick us in the face, while grinding rims will allow us to, well, reach out and touch someone. And of course, different kinds of exhaust, engine upgrades, grill upgrades, all sorts of things. We'll be getting all of these eventually, but right now all of them are outside of my price range. One of the bigger upgrades I want to get more than anything is going to be the harpoons, because a highly upgraded harpoon is a wonderful thing to have. But we'll get there eventually.
Nah, don't slay me. I mean to run away. Lead slingers will protect their jaw until they die. If you want to live, shoot first.
And that's pretty simple advice. You know, shoot snipers first before they can shoot you. Easy stuff. I think this is the first of the strong Scarecrows we have, and the difference in Scarecrow strength means you need a bigger harpoon to drag it down. It can still be charged through fairly easily.
She's truly a miracle. Long shots up ahead.
I see them. I can take him out with a sniper rifle.
The what?
The long shot.
Oh, here, I have a few rounds. Make them count.
One final thing that can be done while using the sniper rifle is Chum can actually drive around a little bit to reposition you.
You're a wizard. The long shot is your wand.
I have to concentrate.
Yes, of course, your wizardship. My sails are sealed.
One thing that came up in the essay thread was the dog who we're all referring to as Dinky D. Apparently in Australia it's actually pronounced Dinky Die. But, you know, that went off a little bit of a tangent towards, you know, in this post-apocalyptic setting, exactly how much of language has drifted or is lost. And things like, you know, Max calling the sniper rifle, well, a sniper rifle, and having Chum not understand what it is. Well, you know, Max is a product of a broken world. You know, he was actually there before things went straight to hell. So him knowing that things are called sniper rifles rather than long shots makes sense. But then how do you adjust this post-apocalyptic, I'm going to get that word right eventually, post-apocalyptic wasteland where a fair number of people are no longer familiar with the before times? Things that were once known like sniper rifles and gasoline have become long shots and guzzling. I think it's a neat touch. Of course, then I guess you have a little bit of a linguistic debate on whether long shot applies to simply the person who uses a long shot, or if it applies to the rifle. Anyway, there's a new enemy up ahead, and our shoulder charge will come in handy instantly.
You're the driver Scrotus once. Where's your car now?
War bucklers use shields, and they use weapons, and they're jerks. Definitely recommend taking them out as soon as possible. And that's that. But yeah, things like guzzling, comma crazy, all these things are just, you know, products of, well, I guess you might call it linguistic drift in an era where there's no use in linguistics. As long as you're understood, that's about all there is to it. Doesn't that look tasty? I have no idea what the point of keeping a bunch of bodies in a bathtub full of blood and bodies is, but you know, I don't know, maybe making more scarecrows? I got nothing. I really don't understand why you find bathtubs just full of bodies. This though.
Wars, famine, disease, murder. Killed us all.
I appreciate that makeshift toilet with a tire over as a seat, just hanging over an endless drop. Hey, buddy. But yeah, you'll see something like that a few times, just, you know, tires and rubber being, you know, a bit more durable, I guess I'd say. They come in handy as seats, they've got a nice handy opening in them, you've got a makeshift toilet. Just, you know, watch out above.
That must be it. We're not ready to take that on. Not without some preparation. Car needs more power and grip. It needs side armor and a grille to shield the nose. The Hunchback can make it happen if I bring in parts.
There'll be just a little bit more to this video as far as the storyline beats, but this is going to do it for me, so I'll go ahead and sign off. Until next time, stay thirsty, friends.
Your plans for this car, building it up. You gotta do it before we can get past the jaw.
These black fingers are ready to dance, Saint. Oh, yeah, and I know just the steps, too. It's called the Jack, a wasteland classic. We'll pull it off and our chances of survival grow tenfold.
And the harpoon?
Soon, soon. But she needs the basics first, huh? The car's weak.
Agreed.
Let's return to Jeets first, huh? Then I'll show you the plans.